So you finally decided to pull the trigger of your dreams and achieve this goal of starting a business.
You brave, brave man.
And so now you might be asking yourself, what now? I also was asking the same question when I started my company called Bow & Co, where we sell children's clothing online. And so there are definitely things that you can plan for. And then there's some things that maybe you haven't realized that might be an issue. And so today we're just gonna kind of address what some of those things could be that you might encounter.
The whole experience is so foreign to me.
So I think the first thing that really I wasn't expecting when starting a new business, this grand excitement that everybody around us had for this company, followers on Facebook, visits to the website, orders that were just going out the door like crazy. And we were thinking, oh man, we hit the jackpot, we hit it right on the head, and we're doing this thing and it's working out way better than we could have ever imagined.
Money printing machine.
But then there was a very dramatic decrease in all of that excitement.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
And while we weren't going to zero, we weren't doing the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 weeks that we were enjoying in the beginning. You should see an excitement and a gradual increase, maybe from 0 to whatever that cap is. Depending on the product and the profit margins that you have, you can definitely expect a gradual increase, maybe even an explosion. And then you're gonna see a little bit of a taper off because people are beginning to become normal with your company and they're kind of figuring out what you're about. And so don't be too concerned if you start seeing a drop in your profits.
Look like a stock market crash.
Kind of let things level out and stabilize and see about what do you do over a span of maybe a quarter. And so that's why I think why a lot of businesses like to look at things in matters of quarters instead of months or weeks or even days.
I really think you're onto something there.
Yes, you want those small victories, but business is a lot like a war. You never win a war in one day. You win a war by battles over multiple days, and you have win days and you have lose days. And the goal of a business is to have more win days than you do lose days.
Your boy is a genius.
And it's completely acceptable to have those lose days. You just don't want to have too many of those lose days. For example, with Bow & Co, I wouldn't be too concerned about having a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month. But when I have a bad quarter, that's whenever I need to start looking back and seeing what have we changed over the last 3 months that isn't working for us, and what avenues do I have to go forward to try to turn some of those numbers around.
It's where business happens.
So again, guys, absolutely acceptable and okay to have a massive increase upon launch and then maybe a significant or a small amount of drop off. But what you're looking for is where are you leveling off at as a company?
And allowed the aircraft to level off.
So the second thing is the adjustment of life that we just, quite frankly, couldn't plan for. We had a lot going on at the time of the launch of Bow & Co, and in true Ashley and Jack fashion, we waited until the most unopportune time to do things. Which is kind of just how we operate anyways, and so we're used to it. But we just had our daughter at the time of our launch of our company, and so we were trying to juggle going from 1 kid to 2 kids and dealing with a newborn and also now this new company. And so we went from having ample amounts of free time and time together and just enjoying life. Oh man, now we have this whole other thing in the mix where now I'm having to look at analytics even after looking at analytics all day at work and coming home and helping her fill orders and checking on the status of the company. I mean, all those wickets that you're gonna have to hit as a business owner. And so that is just something to really think about. What are the implications of starting a business on maybe your family life or even your work life? Do you have it in your schedule to do that and to be sustainable?
I work better under pressure.
And so that was just something that we didn't really think about at the time. And now that we've kind of incorporated it into our lives, when there's a change, it just takes time to readjust to the new normal. But eventually you will reach that new normal and it just becomes a factor of life. And that's kind of where we're at now. Bow & Co just kind of runs and we're monitoring it and obviously doing a lot of marketing, videos, posts, word of mouth, and plugging where we can to try to get sales. However, the days of coming home and stressing and just jumping through hoops and making it feel like it's a burden, it just kind of subsides over time. And yes, we have bad days where it is more burdensome than others. 9 days out of 10, it is not a struggle at all.
Scientists say it helps release stress.
And so you just have to be ready for that adjustment and expect that adjustment, and just understand it's okay to feel overwhelmed in the beginning, but things should begin to become normal. And if they're not, after your first quarter of business, then maybe it's time to reevaluate how you're operating and see if there's things that you can cut out to make it much more manageable.
I can do this. I can do this.
And so lastly, guys, I want to talk about something that is completely normal, natural to feel at the beginning, but maybe you'll kind of shake this faster or slower than others, and that is what's called imposter syndrome.
Imposter!
So we kind of mentioned it in some other videos where we kind of felt like, why am I doing this? I shouldn't have done this. Oh my gosh, what did I get myself into?
I think I'm over my head.
And that's completely normal and natural. And so the most important thing to remember is just be hard-headed, guys. Keep pushing, keep going. You're in the right place. No matter what anybody else tells you, it is completely okay. And don't feel like an imposter, whether that's on social media or running business meetings and setting up meetings and sending emails. You're not an imposter. There was a time when all of these major corporations were exactly in your shoes, starting from scratch with, just say, $0. Or maybe they had a small amount of money, but they were imposters, if you will, at that time as well.
Hey, no, your idea is better than.
And so don't be so afraid of people thinking that you are not worth what you're selling. You've got to have a certain self-confidence about yourself in order to make it in business. In other words, if you go and you try to make a sale and you think to yourself, I'm a loser and I shouldn't be here, that person's impression might pick up on that energy. And so it's very important that you just keep a positive mental attitude as you go through this process. And you say, look, I deserve to be here, and this is what I should be doing. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this work. If you just keep that mentality, you'll probably be better than me. But if you just keep that mentality, there's really nothing you can't achieve in life. The easiest way to remember this, guys, is just stay positive.
Stay positive. Stay positive.
Ashley all the time comes to me and says, oh man, I didn't make any money today. I'm like, well, zoom out. So your zoom out function in your analytics is going to be your best friend. So yes, you may have a bad day, or maybe even a bad week, or maybe even a bad month, but zoom out a little bit, and overall, over a 3-month span, 6-month span, or even a year span, how much money have you generated as a company? And doing those types of things are absolutely crucial to keep your mental positive so that you can keep pushing and keep thriving and saying, okay, this is working and I just got to try something different, or I got to keep pushing. And that's really the only hard part of a business. What's working and what's not.
I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this.
So anyways, guys, if this video was helpful to you, please drop a subscribe down below. Simply like this video. Also, you can check us out on Facebook at Bo & Co. We also have a members page. We run all kind of special deals on there. There's also a link to the website down below. Feel free to click on that and just kind of browse the website to see what we're selling, and maybe you can gather some tips just from seeing our website. But I want to thank all of you for joining us, and as always, that's Life with Bo & Co.